and welcome to the Truth Radio Show with Dan Bidondi on TruthRadioShow.com. And today is July 18th, 2014 edition of the Truth Radio Show. And we got a ton of news to cover today, folks. We got the Malaysia Flight, Israel-Gaza conflict going on, border crisis, police state, World War III about to pop off, technology news, U.S. news, police state news. I mean, the whole nine yards, government tyranny. I mean, just so much stuff. Probably repeated a couple of things twice here. But and, of course, the quote of the week as well. Before we get into all that, I just want to make a couple announcements first. We're going to be moving to from 990wbob.com to Freedomizer Radio, which is part of Blog Talk Radio. And the thing is, when, 990wbob, I can't say nothing bad about. They've been a great platform for many years, but due to inside stuff that's going on, I don't have time for games, us getting cut off the air and all that. You know, I mean, I love the station, love the people there, but I need to stay consistent. I need a place that is consistent, and Freedomizer Radio has been around for 6-7 years, consistently all the time they've been going, and it looks like a great platform, a bigger platform that we're definitely going to take advantage of in a good way, of course, and to broadcast our show. We're going to be doing also videos as well, special reports as you see all the time, and we got a ton of stuff going on here on Truth Radio, folks, and pardon the arm here. I just got injured at my day job and just pulled my shoulder and my back a little bit. And long story with that, but I mean, like, I'm just going to try to get through it with my arm here. I still could use it here, but it's just, limited because I got little pains in my shoulder and all that. And it's a little painful, but you know what? That can't stop us because we, the New World Order, they don't stop no matter what's going on. And, we are going to keep fighting these people into one day the entire world, not just the U.S., has freedom and liberty from these New World Order satanic scum. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on here, and, we need to stay focused. We need to keep driving forward. And I want to actually, for new people out there, explain on my website, TruthRadioShow.com, we have a donation page. Now, I want to explain one thing about that. I don't like to advertise I have one. I hate it. I mean, I wish I had the money to do it all myself, but I hate even asking people to borrow, $2 for a drink or something. And I mean, and it's just ridiculous. I hate doing that. But the thing is, this operation here costs a lot of money, a lot. I mean, we're trying to build a better studio, and this is a makeshift right now. And, we're not only looking for money, to help with the operation, but if you got equipment, audio, video of any kind, computers, video cameras, soundboards, anything of the sort, okay, studio lighting, anything, you want to get rid of, I don't care how old it is. I mean, we still could put it to use with our reporters. We got a bunch of reporters coming up and that work for us, and basically we're going to be expanding. I got correspondents from all over the world, literally. Greenland, Iceland, Canada, the UK, all over the country here. We want to expand worldwide, not nationwide, worldwide, to bring you the news. And we want to go big, folks. And not for the money, finance, nothing about that. It's all to do with getting the truth out there. Because, I mean, again, I work for InfoWars, and InfoWars is the best. It always will be the best. And the thing is, we need more shows out there, more media out there to give the truth, because it's not enough. Because you got a conglomerate of corporate mainstream media gurus, I should say, morons, or whatever you want to call them, basically spewing out lies. And the other thing, too, before the trolls attack me here, yes, my speech is horrible. My grammar and spelling is even worse. But who cares? You know what I mean? I'm here because I want to speak from the heart, speak with passion and liberty and truth. That's why I'm here. Because nobody else is going to do the job right now, so I have to do it. If you could do better, come on, I'll give you my seat here. But other than that, I have to be up here with my voice and, spewing out the truth. You know what I mean? And fighting these globalists, fighting the New World Order, fighting the tyranny from the mainstream media telling people lies. So if you're looking for that teleprompter reading person with a pretty face, you got the wrong place to shut it off now. Or if you want to be lied to and have smoke blowing up your butt, shut it off, turn on CNN and MSNBC, who are crumbling. The ratings are dropping. InfoWars is kicking their butts, period. And, it's just a lot of stuff going on, and we need you people out there to help us. I mean, this operation is not cheap, folks, at all. So we need people out there to help out with the operation. Again, equipment, everything, so it's on truthradioshow.com. When you hit the donate page, it goes to a donation page that has a list of, you know, items and all that we need for the operation. And of course, if you got a few extra dollars, you know, and you feel from the heart to give, sure, do that, because it all goes into this operation to fund us, to get out to places, do reports for the video equipment and so on, batteries, everything from paper to printing cartridges. I mean, it is expensive. And but enough with that, because I hate even talking about that, because I just wish I had millions of dollars that I could just blast the stuff out for free, you know, we just get it out there. I mean, my videos I want to explain too on my YouTube channel, Truth Radio Show. All my videos, just like Infowars.com, copyright free. You have full permission to use any of the videos for your movies, documentaries, even copy them, download them. Put them on a disc. Even if you want to make a couple bucks, sure. Do whatever you want to do, but get the stuff out there viral. Make a bunch of CDs, hand them out to your friends, families, and neighbors. We got documentaries, we got special reports, we got news reports, old shows. Get the information out there to your friends, families, and neighbors. And I'm just sitting here, like, just jabbing off here. Yeah, just gotta get to the news here. Just like I'm a motor mouth most of the time, so excuse me with that. And but it takes a motor mouth to be a talk show host. It really does. And anyway, we're gonna get some of the news here, and a lot of tyranny going on. You got Obama given executive order now to go after the AK-47s. He will not allow you to buy anything from Kalashnikov from Russia. You know, all AK models and such. We're going to get into all that in a little while, but we got a lot of news to go on. And without further ado, a federal judge declares death penalty unconstitutional in California. And U.S. District Judge Cormac Carney's ruling came in response to an appeal by Ernest Dwayne Jones, who was sentenced to death in Los Angeles in 1995 for the rape and killing of his girlfriend's mother 3 years earlier. So Carney noted that the death penalty has been imposed more than 900 times since 1978, but only 13 of those prisoners have been executed. And Carney saying that basically the death penalty is unconstitutional. And there's a lot of mixed reactions about that. I talked to some people, and you know, their death penalty's been around forever, even, you know, the founder of the country. But you know what? So when is it good and when is it not good? That's the question. And I got to go 50-50 with this, because, you know what I mean, if somebody just went and just killed and raped a bunch of kids, you know what I mean? But the other thing too, you know, you prosecute them, but the other thing too is even death, I mean, God's got to deal with them. Yeah, there's no more swifter justice than what God's got to do to these evil people. And a lot of people did get killed during with death penalties over something they didn't do, they got accused of, and later on they found out, hey, these guys were innocent after they were already killed. Oh, but we'll clear their name, though. Oh, thanks a lot. I'm already dead. You clear my name, but I'm dead now. Thank you. But it goes both ways with these, you know, with the death penalty, and whatever the discretion of the people, I guess. And excuse me, just 'cause my arm is like makes me limited with mobility here. And you got George Soros, one of the kings of the New World Order. George Soros and the shadow party behind crisis to take down America. And we all talked about, I mean, we talked about this for countless numbers of times on the show about the globalists. And the globalists, people like George Soros, Dianne Feinstein, Obama, you know, Henry Kissinger, all these New World Order. We need nothing short of a New World Order. I can't intimidate them. I'm not good at imitating people. I mean, intimidating, yes, but not imitating people. But anyway, see that's the speech things. You know, there's no teleprompters here, so you hear little mess ups in speech and all that. But you know what? We'll try to get the truth out. That's all that matters. But the Hungarian-born billionaire and currency speculator who considers himself a messianic figure was voted the single most destructive leftist person in the country by respondents to a poll published by the Human Events newspaper in 2011. I mean, this guy is a huge globalist. I'm never going to, there's a lot in the article here. This article is on Infowars.com by Kurt Nimmo. There's a lot of, I mean, George Soros speaks for himself. I mean, the guy is a globalist. He's constantly trying to push for a new world order. He's one of the people that purposely tries to destroy the economies by design, the Federal Reserve and so on. These people are beasts when it comes to liberties, beasts when it comes to freedom and such, and the beasts meaning that they want to eat away at your civil liberties, eat away at everything because they want a new world order. So George Soros, I think it's an understatement to call him the most destructive person alive, because George Soros is one of the top kingpin globalists, and this man needs to be arrested. Humanity needs to arrest this guy for crimes against humanity, for murder, for many other things. I mean, it's just a whole field of these globalists that need to go to jail. And talk about the death penalty, you might, if those people oppose the death penalty, you might want to take choice with people like him. How many people has this guy killed and all the other globalists? And now you got controlling the narrative. A woman calls Cheney war criminal, and a C-SPAN feed cuts out. And this video is on Infowars.com. It demonstrates its faithful service to the state and the ruling political class the other day when the Politico was doing an interview with former Prince of Darkness, a.k.a. the Vice President of the United States, and his wife, Lynn, and daughter, Liz. And in an interview, you can see the woman in the audience. She stood up and basically called out for the arrest of Dick Cheney there, holding up a pair of handcuffs. And all of a sudden, the C-SPAN says, "Oh, we're experiencing technical difficulties. We'll be back," and they have entourage of the White House. Technical difficulties my butt, because they don't want to, the public to see. Yeah, there are brave people out there who stand up against criminals like Dick Cheney. And speaking of New World Order kingpins, he's one of them. And now you got Chicago inner city black residents. Obama, worst president ever. And there was little interviews going on at black residents in Chicago from Obama's home state, saying he's the worst president ever. So Obama, let me guess, these black people are racist, right? They're racist against black people because, and that's what you say, everybody who disagrees with me or the government is a racist. Well, these black people, they're racist too? Unbelievable. And black residents of Chicago's inner city neighborhoods are extremely upset with the President Barack Obama and his approach to illegal immigration. And speaking of illegal immigration, we got a big problem here with the border crisis, and we're going to get into that in a little while. But anyway, with the president setting aside all the funds for immigrants and forsaking American communities and African American families, I think it's a disgrace. And Barack is from the heart of the 55th city of Chicago, and one resident said he will probably go down as the worst president ever elected. And Bill Clinton was the African-American president. This is quoted from some of the people in Chicago. So nice support from his hometown, which shows, hey, if you disagree with Obama, you're not a racist, because we've got black folks even coming out against Obama. So don't let the mainstream media say, "Oh, no, all black people support Obama." They don't. And it's nothing to do with color anyway. And it's like, now, speaking of Obama, he's issuing executive orders and to go after your guns, the Second Amendment. And article by Kurt Nimmo posted, Obama attacks Second Amendment with executive order. And again, Kurt Nimmo, Infowars.com reports, the Treasury Department's Office of Foreign Assets Control attempted to soften the blow by stating that the executive order does not outlaw Kalashnikov firearms legally purchased in the United States prior to the ban. And the OFAC, according to its website, administers and enforces economic and trade sanctions based on U.S. foreign policy and national security goals against targeted foreign countries and proliferation of weapons of mass destruction. Oh, yeah, AK-47 is a mass destruction. Yeah, whatever. And other threats to the national security, foreign policy, or economy of the United States. The criminalization of an entire line of foreign manufactured firearms is possibly under national emergency powers, and there is no appeal process. And this is draconian, folks. And now they're telling you you can't own an AK-47. And because it classifies as if I'm reading this correctly, it classifies as a weapon of mass destruction and against national security. For buying a Kalashnikov that's AK-47 or any of the AK or Kalashnikov line of firearms. This is ridiculous, folks. Many of the sanctions are based on the United Nations and other international mandates are multilateral in scope and involve close cooperation with allied governments, according to the Treasury. And American civilians are buying as many AK-47s from Russia top armory as the Russian military and police. The Daily Mail reported in 2012 the surge of sales of Russian assault rifles and shotguns are fueled by firearm enthusiasts who are paranoid about the weapons being banned in the United States. The paranoia about the government literally outlawing the entire class of firearms has now come true. So Obama attacking the Second Amendment, you can't have an AK-47, or you can't buy ammunition and such from Russia, which, they make, probably the best weapons out there. AK-47 to this day is probably one of the best ever. I call them defense weapons, not assault weapons. One of the best defense weapons ever made. I mean, the rifle is amazing. I encourage people to get out there and buy them now, especially with this ban going on. Anyway, coming up to a break in about a minute. And before I come up to the break, we got comic icon Archie to die protecting gay gun control advocate in the upcoming issue. So anybody seen the Archie cartoons in the Sunday Journal, the Sunday newspapers and all that? Archie's death will occur in an issue with a Life of Archie series in which attempts to intervene in an assassination trying to kill Senator Kevin Keller, Archie's gay best friend and rapid gun control advocate. Strongly enough, Archie Comics published Goldwater doesn't think that pushing gun control in the cartoon is over political. Well, they're looking for every way to attack the Second Amendment, folks. I mean, the cartoons and now movies, little kid shows. Oh, guns are bad. The schools, I mean, they crucify somebody if you bring so much as a keychain into school with a gun on it, or even on your shirt. So, a gun on your shirt. Oh, wow, you got to shoot up the school, kid. We're having you arrested. Then we're going to have CPS come to your parents' house and probably arrest them for allowing you to wear a gun on your shirt. How dare you support the Second Amendment? But we're going to go to a break. We'll be right back because we got the border crisis heating up, folks. Illegal aliens by the thousands pouring here in America. We'll be right back on TruthRadioShow.com. And we got the border crisis heating up, thousands of illegal aliens pouring into the country, not by jumping over walls, but by Homeland Security that's supposed to protect us, but shipping them in by the busloads. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, like, the Border Patrol being told to stand down. I mean, like, the Homeland Security being told to stand down by Obama, and they're just shipping them by the busloads. And, hey, I did a report on this. It's on my Truth Radio Show YouTube channel, a whole report on this and how it's paving the way for the North American Union. But it's just ridiculous. I mean, people getting arrested for doing their jobs as a citizen to stop this, because our Constitution says if our government doesn't do our job, it's not only our duty but our responsibility to do something about it. And people are, but they're the ones getting arrested when these illegal aliens should be getting arrested. But they use, the kids. And the other thing, too, I want to specify, these refugee kids are putting them in camps. Detention centers. Now, these are the very same detention centers that the mainstream media said that didn't exist. They were conspiracy theories. Oh, there were a bunch of tinfoil hat people. Talk about the detention camps or the FEMA camps, internment camps. They're all the same thing. Re-education camps, it's all the same thing. We got tons of legislation on that, and it's just crazy. But these are the same camps that our government says, they don't exist, or people talk about them just conspiracy theorists. But yeah, right in the national news, we're putting these kids, we're keeping them safe. We're putting them in these internment camps. So yeah, the detention centers. Oh, wait a minute, I thought they didn't exist. We even know HR 645, the Establishment Act, enforces them. Army Regulations 210-35. There's tons of Army field manuals. FM 31-39.40. I mean, there's so many Army documents, government legislation that talks about Halliburton. You could research that in Google. I think it was USA Today or somebody that reported how Halliburton won a huge contract, a multi-million-dollar contract by Homeland Security to build these so-called fake internment camps, the tinfoil hat camps. So, yes, but these so-called camps they're putting the refugees in, and they're treating these refugees like, the kids, that's where they soften everybody's heart. Oh, the kids. But these kids are being badly mistreated in these detention camps. And, that don't exist. But, they're being badly mistreated and probably sexually molested, because we know half the people, the goons who work for the government, you know, especially the TSA. Not all of them, but a lot of them are a bunch of sexual molesters. I mean, they're just disgusting what these people are. And they're probably putting them on the black market for these sexual pedophilia rings and everything else. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that these Illuminati scum like to do to kids, and I'm not even going to get into it right now, but because we've got a lot of news to cover. But you got Foster Agency seeks caseworkers, families for illegal alien refugees. And the California Foster Agency is seeking caseworkers for refugee, illegal immigrant youth, as well as foster families for unaccompanied refugee minors, highlighted how illegals from Central America countries war-torn for decades are suddenly being called refugees as part of a push for amnesty. Now, all this, folks, ties in together. The amnesty plan, them letting all these people come in to the country with no passports, and they're giving them driver's license at that, too, in California. It's all part of a broader agenda, as Lou Dubs said before he was let go on CNN when he exposed the whole amnesty plan and the whole diabolical plan of a North American Union. And they, you know, Obama was supposed to usher us into that, but thanks to the resistance, it pushed it back. So they're going to look for their next puppet, which I'm 99.9% sure that next puppet will be Jeb Bush, because they need to swing the pendulum back over to the right to pacify the American people and put them back to sleep. Because if Hillary or another Democrat to win, they know there would be a revolution. So they need to pacify the people. Oh, well, we got your, your Republican. He's all for your rights and all that. When all these people work on the same team, there's no such thing as Democrat and Republican to these people. They all belong to the same team, two wings to the same bird, and two sides of the same coin. The right wing, left wing false paradigm, as Alex Jones coined that phrase. And but you got these foster agencies now trying to push these children, when we have how many homeless children here in America that need homes, foster kids and all that. But you know, and the thing is, this is the middle ground here because of kids. So what do we do? You know, I mean, that's why they're using this, using the kids as an edge, as a vice to get in the middle of that line and stop pushing toward that. So, oh, you know, the North American Union ain't that bad after all because it's got to save everybody, which is not. You know, talk about total enslavement. Look at the European Union, the African Union, the Asian Union. Ask those countries how they like being in a part of a union. It's the end of sovereign individuality. It really is. But I mean, more on this crisis here. You got illegals to be sheltered in L.A. while homeless remain on the street. And this is from CBS Los Angeles. Homeless activist Ted Hayes, who has lived in L.A. for 3 decades, opposes the idea, insisting that they are American kids on the city streets who need help first. And he states that it's kind of a slap in the face to U.S. citizens, Hayes says. It's embarrassing. It's hurtful because it's like a father saying that he loves his children outside of the family more than he loves his own. And the article's on Infowars.com as well, and it's also CBS.com that it's reporting on us. And basically, yeah, they want to shelter these children when, again, tons and tons of our American kids that are living in cars in the street. But yeah, let's shelter illegal aliens instead of shipping them back where they come from. And it doesn't stop there. We got free luxury resorts for illegals, has $1,000 rooms for rent. And they're going to give them away for free. I'm going to show you the pictures right now of the resort. I mean, look, swimming pool, the palm trees, a fitness center. You know, I guess it shows that these apartments go for $1,030. But hey, we're going to give them away for free. And this reports that and this is reported from Infowars, Paul Joseph Watson, great reporter. A luxury Texas resort hotel set to be transformed into a facility to house illegal immigrants as a result of $50 million contract awarded by the Obama administration. So Obama, there you go, giving $50 million for illegal aliens, but he can't give $50 million to help our own children. What about the homeless, the mortgage crisis? But yeah, let's shell $15 million of our taxpayers' money for to put them in luxury apartments. Yeah, let's do that. What about the homeless? What about the returning veterans that have missing limbs and such and can't get a job, that have to go on disability? Put them in these places, not illegal aliens. And this also has rooms for rent and over $1,000 a day. I mean, these things go for $1,000 a day, that it says here. And they're going to give them away for free. I mean, I'm just disgusted. I really am. It is total hogwash that this stuff is going on. And, you know, if anybody still here has support for Obama, $50 million to illegal aliens. But you know what? That's, what about the kids? What about youth returning vets and everything else? If you still support Obama, folks, I mean, there's nothing you can do about it now. You can't vote him out. But you need to do is we got to try to impeach this guy. And I mean, I'm never going to go off from there because it's just total bull crap that what's going on. I mean, like, again, homeless people all over the place. But hell, let's shell $50 million, and that's just for that. That's not counting the Foster Ding program and everything else. $50 million for illegal aliens. Ship them back. I mean, their kids, God bless them, help them out, whatever, ship them back. Get them some homes in Mexico and all over Central America. I'm sure there's parents that need, that want to adopt kids and everything that can have them. So do that. But I mean, take care of our kids first. I mean, it's unbelievable. And now we move on to the FBI warns driverless cars could be used as lethal weapons. I mean, we talked about, they call them the Google cars. They drive by themselves on GPS and all that. And now the FBI is, in the unclassified and restricted report obtained by the Guardian, on the London Guardian there, on the public records request, the FBI predicts that autonomous cars here, will have a high impact on transforming what both law enforcement and its adversaries can operationally do with a car. So basically they're saying, hey, it could become dangerous. They could use it as a weapon to drive into something. But the thing is, I'm never going to go there because these people, they pull off things themselves, especially the FBI. And anytime the FBI gets involved with something, you smell disaster coming in the making. They talk about bombs and all that, and all of a sudden, how coincidentally a bomb goes off, and come to find out that the person who did the bomb or the shooting had some kind of connection with the FBI. The FBI gave them the weapons, gave them the bombs, and to set them up basically. Oh, look what we're doing. We caught this guy. Yeah, no kidding, because you set him up to do it. You gave him the bomb. You gave him the guns. I mean, look at the Boston bombing, for example. The FBI had their hands all over that. So did Kraft International, that pig outfit of military organization. Every one of those people should be arrested. I mean, they should go after those people. The Kraft International, they're the ones who staged the Boston bombing. But it doesn't matter. Because people don't care because they think, oh, the FBI does such a good job. Yeah, right, whatever. Now you got Texas plans to fingerprint everyone within the next 12 years, as reported by the Organic Prepper on July 16th, and the Texas Department of Public Safety might as well be called the Texas Department of Public Invasionists. They launched a plan to fingerprint every single person of driving age in the state, after which they will add to the person's prints to the criminal database. And again, a database. I know it was years ago, I think it was in the 90s, Alex Jones, he has a good video. If you type it in, Alex Jones, thumbprint registry, whatever. He goes to renew his driver's license with the cameras, and at the time Bill Clinton was in office, and he imposed that everybody would have biometrics thumbprint. Alex Jones protested against it. They arrested him for doing so, but sure enough, sooner or later, the whole program was shot down. Basically, you had to submit a biometrics thumbprint to get or renew your license in Texas. So once again, they're attacking it, and they're attacking, basically your civil liberties. They're going to put you on the government database, all your biometrics. Oh, what's wrong with a thumbprint? Because next is going to be an iris scan, blood sample, DNA sample, and it doesn't stop there. I mean, these people, you give them an inch, they'll take a mile quickly. It's very intrusive stuff. I mean, like, that's why people need of the stuff and stop this tyranny. And in the police state news, we don't have much this week. Yahoo News equates videotaping cops with wanting to kill them. So basically what they're trying to do is, this is reported by Paul Joseph Watson, Yahoo's trying to basically say, hey, cops, be careful, because somebody videotapes you, that means they want to kill you. So that gives you a reason to pose on the First Amendment and arrest them for videotaping you, when you have full legal right under the Constitution to videotape a police officer. And a Yahoo News story published today equates concerns about police brutality, the militarization of law enforcement, and videotaping cops with wanted to carry out violent murders of police officers. In a piece entitled Online Rants, Anti-Government Radicals Fuel Fear of U.S. Cop Killings. And senior national reporter for Yahoo, Jason Sickles, cites the murders of Las Vegas police officer Allenbeck and Ignor Soldo last month to make the case that there is an exploding right-wing movement which is creating anxiety about attacks against police. And Sickle notes that the cop killer Jared Miller posted on his intention to murder law enforcement officers on a Facebook page belonging to a cop block. Well, Cop Block is a huge organization, folks. It's a nationwide, great organization. Anybody on Facebook and such, I urge you to like their pages. So with that June now, Cop Block has been growing big. So now they're trying to demonize Cop Block because what they do is in Cop Block they go out and videotape police. They hold them accountable for what they do. So I mean, like. Now they're trying to demonize them. So, hey, and cops, be careful again. Those people videotaping you, they want to kill you, so they're going to videotape you. So, I mean, unbelievable, folks. It really is. And, got so much stuff going on. I mean, I could be here all day telling you, stuff that's going on in the news and all that. And, it's just they are attacking our freedoms, folks. They're demonizing us. I mean, look at all the government documents. The Southern Poverty Law Center going out telling people, hey, law enforcement agencies, hey, that guy driving with the Gaza flag, you better watch out for him. If you pull him over, use extreme caution because he might want to shoot you. He's a right-wing radicalist. I get called all the time. Oh, there goes that right-wing conspiracy theorist. And these morons can't realize that, I'm not right-wing, okay? I am independent constitutionalist, just like the Founding Fathers. Oh, no, you're right-wing. They can't comprehend that there's a thing in the middle called the Constitution. Because, again, I'm all the time, I hate the Republican and Democratic Party equally. Both are equally at fault. They play the role all the time. Oh, this one's a good guy, that one's a bad guy. Then this one's a good guy, and that one's a bad guy. It is like professional wrestling, to a T. They build up the heel to push the baby, and the baby turns bad. And it's even worse. Like, we'll take this for instance in Bush, okay? He was set up to be the heel. And people hate him. We need a savior. So here comes the great save Obama, the great good guy. He gets in and turns his back on the people, then becomes the heel. Now people despair, they don't know what to do. So now they need to swing the pendulum back over to the other side. Oh, here comes the other good guy, which I think is, again, Jeb Bush. They've been prepping him since 2010. I was on record on my show here in 2009, 2010, telling people that the next puppet's got to be Jeb Bush. He's been involved with a lot of stuff, especially with Obama. And here's the thing. Obama openly states all the time how George Bush is his mentor. But people can't comprehend that. It's like, you have to be right or left. That's all they could comprehend. But there's the middle, folks. It's called independents, people who believe in the Constitution. Right wing, the Republican Party, all the time they go outside the Constitution. They bear outside of it. So does the Democrats. They're equally at fault, all of them. And people like Ron Paul and stuff, they should have stayed independent, like I stated in my last video. And Rand Paul, folks, regardless how you feel about him, Rand Paul would never win the Republican nomination. The establishment control the parties, okay? They control the the Republican and the Democratic parties, and they will never allow anybody that's right to win those nominations because it's all fixed. It really is. It's like professional wrestling. They know the outcome of the election. And unless, people wake up and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to go independent. I'm going to go vote for people like Gary Johnson or somebody. Great guy. I met him a couple times down in Texas when I worked for InfoWars full-time down there. Guy's a great guy. And, instead of voting for people like him, you got to vote, they want you to stay with the right and the left so they control it. But if everybody started voting for independent, real people, it would destroy the whole right-wing, left-wing paradigm. It really would. And, so people, they got to get mad. They got to wake up. They got to step up and say, hey, you know what? I had enough of this. But, they're not doing that. And, it's just really crazy. And this is funny news here. You got a pervert gets his kicks by dressing up as a TSA screener and groping women at San Francisco airport. And this is Steve Watson, InfoWars reports. It says something about how accustomed Americans have become to being groped at airports when they don't even notice the person doing it is a drunk imposter, not a real TSA screener. And this is exactly what happened at San Francisco International Airport, according to the report from San Francisco Chronicle. And the report notes that a 53-year-old man walked up into the airport wearing khakis and a blue polo shirt and blue rubber gloves. and for an hour proceeded to impersonate TSA officials without being noticed. And if you watch the video on InfoWars, the news report, basically them reporting on it, and he brought women into a private booth, and I guess it took one of the security to actually realize, hey, wait a minute, he's not a TSA guy, what is he doing? And but anyway, they arrested him, and full reports on Infowars.com. And now you got the U.S. Army training to fight black Americans. And we're going to go to break in a minute, but a promotion video touting FEMA's emergency response capability shows U.S. National Guard troops training to detain unruly African-American citizens in prison camps before handing them over to police. And as the video is posted on Infowars.com, Paul Joseph Watson. You can watch the disaster training video. The video appears on the official YouTube channel for Guardian Centers, an 830-acre disaster preparedness and tactical training validation center located in Georgia, which is routinely used by FEMA and other government agencies to practice emergency response procedures. And after the 2-minute mark in the clip, it cuts to the black woman who is struggling to escape from the clutches of the uniformed officer. It's not just the black people, folks. It showed how they, at first, it was all the Muslims are bad. Then they quickly switched it over. Oh, no, it's the white Americans who are the dangerous people. And they go to the, oh, now it's the black African Americans. And they go back and forth, one, to create diversity, and two, you know, to get everybody fighting like that. And most of all, and everybody is a terrorist to these people. To the U.S. government, anybody who even disagrees with anything with the government, you're a terrorist. How dare you disagree with the God of government, you know, because you'll be a terrorist. Militarized Homeland Security invasion of town was over downloading of indecent images here. I'm getting ahead of myself because when I start talking, it's like you try to read faster than what your mind's comprehending, or vice versa. So it's like at times you got to slow down. But we're gonna go to break, and when we get back, Homeland Security invades a town, and it was over indecent images. And we'll be right back on the Truth Radio Show with Dan Bidondi. Militarized Homeland Security invades the town over indecent images. And the reports by Paul Joseph Watson. The Department of Homeland Security's militarized invasion of a small town in Illinois was not in response to a gang of dangerous drug dealers or armed assailant, but in order to bust a single man accused of downloading indecent images to his home computer. So yeah, our taxpayers and first of all, Homeland Security, jurisdictionally, like basically under jurisdiction and the Constitution, they have no authority to be going to somebody's house in Illinois. You know, a government agency has no authority to do that. Okay, first of all, it should be local police, and they have to have probable cause. But I'm sure, like, yes, our hard taxpayer dollars are worth Homeland Security gearing up like it's World War III just to bust in the guy's door because he's downloading indecent images. And the indecent images wouldn't disclose what they were. But, you know, it's just ridiculous. I mean, like, this is government intrusion, and the whole thing about it, they're not there to stop people from downloading things, because the Pentagon, the FBI themselves got caught downloading child porn, but nothing got done. I think it was, I can't remember if I could pull that up or something. You guys pull that up about something like 1,000 or 2,000 computers in the Pentagon or something had child pornography on it, and nothing got done about that. But if a guy pulls up a picture by accident, he gets raided by the FBI and then Homeland Security. You know what I mean? And yeah, there are people who do that, but I mean it's just ridiculous. I mean, like, you know, a SWAT team of Homeland Security coming because you downloaded an indecent image. It's unbelievable. And, you know, I'm not even going to go, because we're going to get into a rant about it, because Homeland Security, I hate them. Okay, I hate Homeland Security with a passion. All right, and I don't hate the people individually themselves, because there are a lot of good people who do work for Homeland Security, but they don't realize that the scum at the top, okay, they have one motive in mind: gun confiscation, end of civil liberties, and they have no idea that Homeland Security was established for one reason, and it's to be the Gestapo force that our government needs to push us into the New World Order. Just like Hitler had a Homeland Security. There you go. And then indoctrinating kids and everything else. But And now how the NSA Stasi surveillance state conducts war against the alternative media. Now we talked about this, Kurt Nimmo report, yeah. NSA, which is not just the United States, it consists with the National Security Agency. It consists with the UK and Australia as well, and probably some other countries now. That's where they come up with Interpol, with the police and all that. They were inter-police. Interpol means inter-police. They conduct research and all that and training within all these nations as a part of a giant organization. So the NSA is not per se just the United States. They are in those countries. You know, so it's a multinational organization, a tyrannical one at that. And Edward Snowden, I mean, we need more people in the NSA to come out against these NSA. Because, again, when I was talking about Homeland Security, the NSA, again, there could be some good people work there, which there are, but they don't realize the people at the top, they're all about control, tyranny, and Nazism. That's what these people really are. How the NSA Stasi surveillance state conducts war against alternative media. And we've seen this, we've been talking about this for a while, how they're going after alternative media. They even went after Alex Jones to try to remove his videos from his Facebook accounts, YouTube accounts, I'm sorry. And then even people in the military, such as the Army, reported that they can't access Infowars.com on their browsers. It's been blocked. And working in tandem, this is an article from Kurt Nimmo, Infowars, working in tandem with GCHQ, the British government control headquarters, the NSA is engaged in a full court press against news and information outlets beyond the fortress walls of the Mockingbird media. Now, I encourage everybody, go study Operation Mockingbird. You could pull the PDF file up. It's basically Operation Mockingbird was designed by the NSA and government agencies to infiltrate media. So you would never get the truth. They run all kinds of media and such. And basically, we talked about it when we were on the show a couple months ago, how they were basically monitoring news media outlets of what they were talking about and everything else. And they are definitely attacking alternative media. I'm sure they're going to start attacking us here. I mean, I had a couple of issues in the past. But they don't want the truth getting out. They want everything censored, trickled through their corporate mainstream media gurus. Keep messing that up. Morons and gurus, yeah. So they want to filter it down through the filters of lies. So all the truth gets stuck in that filter, and it all spews out lies and gets twisted into their propaganda. So, and according to Glenn Greenwald, the NSA and GCHQ disrupt media and engage in dirty tricks against enemies in a number of ways, including change outcomes of outline polls, mass delivery of email messages to support an information operations campaign, disruption of video-based websites hosted, extremist content to concerted target discovery and content removal. I mean, it goes on. All this is on Infowars.com, and it's just a number of ways how they are attacking the alternative media. And it really is. They set up trolls. They have trolls, and yes, they do. They have people who work in cubicles 8 to 10 hours a day just to push disinformation out there, just to push lies out there and cause trouble. They basically troll everybody. And speaking of trolls, according to Michael Sidner, the New American, he's stating that the worst trolls on the internet are government trolls. And we all have run into them over the internet. They are horrible trolls that seem to delight in making life miserable for other people. But the worst trolls of all are the government trolls. And thanks to Edward Snowden, we now have some startling new evidence of what really goes on behind the scenes. According to a newly revealed documents, British spy agencies GCHQ is manipulating online discussions, infiltrating the computers and specific targets, purposely destroying reputations, altering the results of online polls, as we talked about in the last article here, all the same information, using Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube and other social media sites for propaganda and espionage purposes. And if people don't start getting outraged about this now, the governments of the Western world are going to basically put the green light to do whatever the hell they want. I mean, this is all, again, this is on Infowars.com, and this article is the same information as the last one, and basically saying, hey, you know what? They are attacking us every which way. I mean, you got people, again, people sitting in booths all day to sit there and tax somebody. I mean, I get it all the time. I know there are government trolls on my websites by Facebook. So I got like 4 of them because Facebook only holds about 5,000 friends. And unless you make a group page, I mean, you could have unlimited. But I do have about 4 Facebooks all full. And, you know, it's... You know, I mean, every time you put something out, you got the trolls out there who attack, constantly attack. And you know government trolls from regular trolls. Because regular trolls, you could... You know, they have pictures. A regular troll will be a real person. They have pictures, tons of friends, family on their Facebooks. But government trolls, they have, especially on YouTube, they don't have pictures most of the time. They don't have subscriptions or nothing, just like their Facebooks. They are all blank, 1 or 2 pictures, and you know it's a government troll. They'll spend, especially when they sit countless hours trying to, every which way to try and make you look bad. And these morons, I think they're, you know, I'm part of an intelligence operation. But these morons can never debunk you. You know, they'll sit there and call you every name in the book, but they can never, ever, ever refute the information. And these people in the PSYOPs and all that, they really think they're intelligent. I ran into one of them at one of my jobs once when I did security. The guy was, I guess he was in the military, and he was off for, you know, because he was National Guard, whatever, and he was moving on to military intelligence. He was studying psychological operations. He thought he was the smartest kid on the block, and until he came across me when I was telling people about 9/11 and such, he tried to come out, oh, I could prove that wrong, blah, blah, blah. You know, I could say, let's go. And I put this guy to shame. And this guy has college education and everything else. And basically, when they go into the spiritual realm, too, these people have no idea. They don't. And they have no idea. They think they're smart, which they are. They're book smart, but they have this box around the head that's created with boundaries set by man. So anything out of that box don't exist. Even though, just say, in the spiritual realm, I mean, you got a person that floats above the bed possessed by a demon. You know, just all kinds of crazy paranormal stuff happening. To them, oh, it don't exist. It didn't happen. When 15 people seen the person levitate off the bed, they'll say, no, that didn't happen. It was just an illusion in everybody's mind. You know, it's like when it comes to UFOs too or something, even though in Russia just it was a giant spacecraft over in Moscow, this was in the news years ago, the whole city's seen it, but these people, oh, no, they don't exist. But the thing is, they don't realize that there's bigger devils above them. The devils above them that train them, they know all the stuff exists, but they train them that doesn't, so they have mindless zombie slaves that work for them, that state is God, there ain't no other God but the state. And, you know, you're supposed to evaluate every person you see online, people like us, or those extremists, you got to evaluate them because they're spewing lies and hate against the government. When we openly brag about what we're going to do, we're going to blow up buildings, we're going to set off bombs. And when it does happen, you know, we get caught doing it, but, you know, people report on a conspiracy theorists, but anyway, and you know, the TSA gropes people. Oh, don't worry about it. It's for their safety. And speaking of that, the TSA, according to Paul Joseph Watson here, there's a report by the TSA lets illegals fly without ID, then has the gall to harass a mom over her breast milk. While the TSA are perfectly content to let illegal aliens and extension of potential terrorists fly without any proper form of ID, American moms like Nicole Moberg being harassed over their breast milk. Now, the video is on InfoWars here. You just go to the article, click on the video. But on Friday, it emerged that the TSA was allowing illegal aliens to fly on commercial airliners inside the United States without verifiable identification as long as the individual was able to produce a notice to appear form. They were allowed to board the plane. But yet, they harass a mother over her breast milk. So there's your hard taxpayer dollars at work. Just like the borders, you know, they're arresting U.S. citizens from stopping these legal aliens coming in when our government's supposed to be doing that. You know, we're doing the government's job. You know, it's just non-stop tyranny with these people. I mean, I'm just like so, just like so fed up with the stuff, man. I really am, and it's just like we got to do their job, but we do their job. We're the ones that get arrested, and these criminals go free. And they aid the criminals. I mean, and when does it stop, folks? I mean, really, now you got a lawsuit. Americans put on terror database for buying computers, waiting for relatives at train station. And this is InfoWars Steve Watson. 5 Californians are fighting the Department of Justice in court over the fact that they have been entered into a terrorist database over entirely innocent activities such as taking photographs, buying a computer, and even waiting for relatives to arrive at the train station. And a Courthouse News reports that the ACLU and the Asian Americans Advancing Justice Asian Law Caucus are representing the plaintiffs who have been entered into a Suspicious Activities Report SAR database and could remain on it for decades to come. The database is a part of a federal government program which encourages local and state law enforcement to report any suspicious activity they believe could be related to terrorism. The database is just one of many managed through the Department of Homeland Security's controversial fusion centers. And according to the government report, over 35,000 names had been added to the database by 2013. And I think we did a study I think a couple of years ago. We actually calculated, the database, the names be put on the database, and I think it was about 2017, 2018, that the whole world's it would be over the world's population of the names being entered on that database. So yeah, you're at a train station, you bought a computer, you got to meet somebody at the train station. God forbid you're taking pictures, you're exercising your First Amendment. Oh yeah, you get put on a terrorist watch list, government database, into the fusion centers. We're going to have a big show about the fusion centers. That's very important because, folks, we are imminent and we are close to martial law, folks. And they set up the 10 FEMA regions, and you can look that up. The maps match the same area jurisdiction of the 10 councils of governors. And Obama set up the councils of governors, 5 Republicans, 5 Democrats. Nobody voted these people in. Obama appointed them for each zone, and they're FEMA zones. They have fusion centers, intel operations that runs everything. And folks, there is a lot of tyranny going on. I mean, I could be here all night, and it's just like we got to do something, folks. We got our last segment coming up in a few minutes, and again, folks, I mean, we need to start fighting back against these globalists, and expect right here. And our Constitution says against enemies, foreign and domestic. And right now, we have no foreign threat, folks, but the United Nations, which is actually here. So our main and biggest enemy of freedom, of the Constitution, of liberty, of sovereign individuality, of your civil liberties is domestic. And that's right here, the criminals who hijacked our government. Now, I am not against the federal government. I'm not an anti-government person. I'm an anti-people who hijacked our government person. I mean, we got the globalists who do the CFR, Trilateral Commission, the Kremlin Pratt House in New York City, which were a communist party that formed the League of Nations, staged World War II to push the United Nations in, and they brought in the CIA, which is the Nazi rat line. I mean, this is historical proof, folks. I mean, during Operation Paperclip, I want you to research that too. Operation Paperclip, they went over and recruited Nazi scientists and German SS officers, high-ranking ones, and basically forced them, not recruit them, but forced them, hey, you come work for us or you're dead or whatever. And they came here to work. That's how we got stealth technology, and most of the technology we have today is through Operation Paperclip. And we brought the SS Nazi regime over here to the United States as the OSS, the Office of Strategic Services, that eventually morphed into what's known today as the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency. So therefore, folks, I'm not saying everybody works for the CIA as Nazi. No. The people at the top are Nazi rat line. George Bush, or the old man Bush, he helped establish, he was the head of the CIA at one point. He helped establish the CIA, all of them involved in the Kennedy assassination. I mean, folks, the tyranny goes deep, okay? The rabbit hole goes so deep. I mean, it's an understatement how far that rabbit hole goes. And you don't need sci-fi, folks. You really don't. And this stuff sounds far-fetched, unbelievable. And I don't blame you if you don't believe in it, but you know what? The truth is there. I mean, it's all on record, all of this. The CIA brags about funding Al-Qaeda, creating Al-Qaeda with Bin Laden, Timothy Osman. And we got to go to break in a minute, but, folks, yeah, I mean, it goes that far, folks. The rabbit hole goes so far, okay? George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, all these great science fiction movie creators, all them put together could not come up with reality. I mean, the truth is stranger than fiction for sure, way stranger. And you can't make this stuff up, folks. And you know, people ask me all the time, "How do you know all this?" I don't know how I know this. It's definitely a divine intervention that God's opened my eyes to a lot of stuff, and it's just so much, folks. I got headaches all the time, just like pulling up the news, and I don't even get to cover the deepest stuff that goes on with the Illuminati, the secret societies, and all that. We're going to get into a lot of that. We're going to bring on Illuminati experts, former Illuminati, Doc Marquis, Bill Schnoblin. We're going to try and get on Mark Dice and such, and Tex Mars. These people are great with the stuff, and it all ties in together. All of it, every single bit of it. The Communist Manifesto, how it all talked about this. George Orwell's 1984. I mean, the globalists bragged about this years ago, and it's all coming to power now. I mean, the Bible's talked about this, and we're living in these biblical end times. And but we gotta go to break, and we'll be right back on the Truth Radio Show with Dan Bidondi. And we are back on TruthRadioShow.com with Dan Bidondi. Before we get into the quote of the week, folks, check it out, FreedomizerRadio.com. We're going to be moving there probably next week. Initiation shows we're going to be starting on there, and that's part of Blog Talk Radio. Go to FreedomizerRadio.com for more information. And a good friend of mine, Proof Negative, he hosts the Proof Negative show. Big show on Freedomizer, great friend of mine, and you know, like the thing is, we need to expand, folks, and you know, the donations, people have been donating, and you know, the money is a blessing, folks. Even $5, I mean, because the gas, everything else to get out to these reports and such, and it's like equipment, everything else. I mean, like, we need to expand, and it's a grassroots operation. We're not funded by the big banks. We're not. We don't get bailouts by the government. We're not even a 501c3, and I will never be a 501c3, and because I don't want to be government controlled. You know what I mean? And it's just ridiculous. It really is. And I want people to check out, listen to the Alex Jones Show every day, 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern. The Alex Jones Show and the InfoWars Nightly News, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Great show, prisonplanet.com, prisonplanet.tv. They got a great deal going on right now. If you pay for, I think, $6.95 for subscription, and you get 11 user accounts. In other words, you buy the subscription for Infowars.com, and you get 10 other passwords. You could, you know, give your 10 other friends and family. So here's my username and password, that you can log on simultaneously to watch the InfoWars Nightly News. And on prisonplanet.tv, it includes the documentaries. You can watch the special reports. I mean, you can watch them on the InfoWars Alex Jones, Real Alex Jones YouTube channel as well. They're on there as well, but if you want them right there, you know, full high-quality definition, and they're right on the Prison Planet subscription, all the special reports and everything else. And I got a lot of my reports on there as well. And I encourage people to subscribe to my YouTube channels, Truth Radio Show and InfoWars Insider. My link's right on Alex Jones' channel, right on the side there, InfoWars Insider. So all my reports are on and there. They're on the Alex Jones channel as well. And my Truth Radio reports are on Truth Radio YouTube. Without further ado, let's get to the quote of the week. And this is by Abraham Lincoln. And how relevant is this today, that we need to actually do this? And he states, and this is what the government's teaching oppositely, but he states, "We the people are the rightful masters of both Congress and the courts, not to overthrow the Constitution, but to overthrow the men who would pervert the Constitution." Abraham Lincoln. And folks, that's very relevant, man. We need to start doing this. We need to overthrow the men, not the government, not the Constitution, but the men who pervert our Constitution. Look at all these criminal scum right here in Rhode Island calling for gun control all the time. Oh, we're not trying to take your guns. We're just trying to slowly, incrementally take your guns. You can't own that gun, that gun, that gun, that gun. And you can't have more than 10 rounds. But we shot that down. I just want to state 2 years in a row, we shot the gun bills down. All of them are shot down. So once again, another victory for the Second Amendment, another victory for you, the people out there, another victory for, you know, the Founding Fathers and liberty. Because without guns, I mean, The Second Amendment should have been the first. I think that's the only mistake they made in the Constitution. The First Amendment should have been the right to bear arms, because that is the foundation of all the other civil liberties. And Abraham Lincoln, when he's saying basically, is people who try to pervert the Constitution, and it is your duty, as the Declaration of Independence says, to overthrow such gods and provide new future gods for your future. And we need to do that now, folks. And I'm not calling for a violent, bloody revolution, shooting up the streets. No, we need to go prosecute the scum who hijacked our government, the scum at the top of the Republican and Democratic parties, the scum of the United Nations. We need to kick the United Nations right the hell out of this country. You know, that's what needs to be done. People need to all rally up, all of them. March and barge right through those damn United Nations doors in New York City. Kick every one of those scum right out. Arrest them all the top officials. And burn that damn building down. Destroy it. That's what needs to be done. Pull all the people out, arrest them all, destroy the damn building, especially that disgusting monument with the gun tied into a knot. I hope and pray that somebody takes a truck, okay? I encourage somebody to do it. Yeah, yes, I'm encouraging them to do it. Get a bulldozer or something and drive right through that damn monument. And same thing with the Georgia Guidestones in Georgia. I encourage somebody to blow that damn thing up. It really needs to be blown up, the Georgia Guidestones. Don't blow up the monument in New York, because innocent people get hurt. But I encourage somebody to drive a damn truck through it. That's what I encourage. Because those things, those monuments, symbolizes the end of all your civil liberties. Do you get that? Especially you gun grabbers out there. The end of all our civil liberties all rest upon the Second Amendment being taken away. If it's taken away, kiss all your civil liberties goodbye. And I know there's a lot of good people, real good people, who are against guns, but they're hoodwinked to believe, oh, the guns are killing the children, but don't get told, hey, guns save more lives than actually take them. And they don't get told how a gun could prevent all the shooting massacres if all the citizens were armed. But they don't get told that stuff. But they rather attack our civil liberties. And the reason why I go with the guns all the time, because, again, that's the central base of our civil liberties. And speaking of civil liberties, which is being routed all the time, I mean, like, they are using every distraction known to man. In other words, something could blow up halfway across the world. It had nothing to do with us. Okay, then they use that crisis to attack our civil liberties. And it's just like... it's disgusting. And there was a quote, never let a good crisis go to waste. And there was Robert Emanuel, I think it was, in Chicago, that quoted that. In other words, he was saying it because he's a globalist. Oh, yeah, any crisis you use, in other words, like Iran and Afghanistan going to war, for example, oh, that's an excuse to raise the oil prices when it has nothing to do with it. And it takes, and if it did, it would take a long time. And right away, they raised the oil prices for the gas and all that. But Robert Emanuel never let a good crisis go to waste. And they use crises all the time, especially for what's going on in the Middle East. We got Israel and Gaza now going head to head again. I mean, this has been going on for years. And people say, oh, here we go again. Which, yeah, here we go again. And Obama was saying, oh, well, I'm going to try to negotiate peace deals between Israel and Gaza. How about you mind your damn business? And people say, oh, we should go help Israel. We should go help Gaza. Gaza's at fault. The Palestinians, they're the ones at fault. No, Israel's the ones at fault. You know what? Who cares? Okay, let them fight their own war. And then you got the other side of the token, you know, the other side of the token, Israel is God's people. No. The Bible doesn't say that. You support God's people. Yeah, the people of God, which ain't the Israeli government. People, I deal with the Christians all the time. Okay, I'm a Judeo-Christian, whatever. Okay, you need to understand this, okay? Benjamin Netanyahu, okay, is not of God, okay? Benjamin Netanyahu is a globalist scum, just like Obama, a globalist scum, just like all these other world leaders, okay? They don't care about the people or God. Okay, they care about land grab, they care about money, power, and a new world order. That's all they care about. Okay, and there's two different Jews. I got to explain this all the time. The Bible says those who profess to be Jews, they're fake Jews, but they are not, and they belong to the synagogue of Satan. The Zionist Jews, the ones that go by the Kabbalah. And when Israel was formed again, there was Rothschilds that pushed it to be a nation, and the United States was the first to declare Israel a nation. And they used the Star of David, which David never bore a star. I don't even know where that even came from. David never had a star. It is the Kabbalah star. And people say, oh, no, it's interweaving. No, it's the Kabbalah star. There ain't no such thing as a Star of David. David never had a star. And even the book of Amos talks about the stars of your gods, the stars of Moloch, the stars of this one and that one, but not of God. Okay, that's why in the Ten Commandments he said don't use symbolism. But people don't get this. And real Jews, okay, they were pissed off that they put that star on the flag because they knew back then, yeah, that's an evil star. That's a Kabbalah star. That's the most powerful talisman in all the occult. The pentagram, the eastern and the western, whatever you want, whichever you want to use, both of them combined are not as powerful as the hexagram, the six-pointed star. The Kabbalah star is the most powerful talisman in all of the occult. And we're not going to get to that right now. There's just so much involved with that. But that's way down the rabbit hole. And the folks, again, truth is a lot stranger than fiction. But, the real Jews wanted to use the menorah on the flag. But instead, the Rothschild, who were the financiers of the Illuminati and pushing the New World Order, they had to use that Kabbalah star. And, of course, the United States has been right up their butts the whole way along because it's not about... they use, we're going to help God's people. No, they're helping Satan's people, not God's people. Real Jews, okay, Jews of God are being persecuted all the time. And the Israeli state, the people in government, they are not real Jews, okay? These people are global Zionist scum, okay? And the people in Gaza, okay, the people are great. Same thing in Israel. People are great. The regular people. Both sides are victims and being taught, oh, no, it's Gaza's fault, Palestinians are bad, or no, the Jews are bad. No, how about both your governments are bad? That's what's going on, okay? And yeah, there's a lot of controversial over the land between Palestine and Israel. They have been fighting for God knows how long over that land. There's a lot of controversial. I'm not going to get to that right now, but the point is, okay, Gaza, okay, and Israel, it's the governments who are to blame right now. The people themselves, they're good people, and all of them are victims. All of them. In Israel, they bomb Palestine all the time. So Palestine bomb Israel all the time. It's equal. It really is. So don't let anybody say it pick sides. Oh, we got to support Israel because God says to. No, God says to support his people, not the state. When Christians are not supposed to kiss Israel's ass, okay? We're not supposed to kiss Benjamin Netanyahu's ass, okay? They are evil, okay? You support the people of God in Israel, and the people of God in Gaza, too. There's people of God. You support them, okay? The thing is you support no war at all. Don't say, he's there to blame. No, stop, okay? Stop. And second of all, it's none of our damn business. People say, Obama should be there doing something about it. First of all, how many millions of dollars go to Israel all the time? Billions, I should say. Billions of dollars a year go to Israel. We give them fighter jets. We give them the top technology of jets, aircraft, war machines, everything. We give them to Israel. We fund Israel all the time. But our country's lacking so much stuff, but we fund Israel, and now Founding Fathers stated, don't get involved as an empire or join alliances with other nations. That was the farewell address from George Washington, because they'll come and bring us down. I mean, like, you're seeing that, folks, and it's none of our damn business, okay? Yeah, we support God, people of God, but the conflict between Palestinians and Israel, mind your damn business, Obama. Stay the hell out of it. We have no authority police in the world. Like, you got the United States Navy, the commercials on TV or the radio, a global force. Okay, the Navy was never meant to be designed as a global force. It's supposed to be a national force. Okay, we have no business being a global force. I mean, I could go on all day with this stuff, I really can, because it just pisses me off, and especially a lot of Christians, I got friends and family that say, oh, no, we got to be Israel no matter what. No, we don't. The Bible doesn't say that. The Bible says to support the people of God, his people, but not kiss the ass of Benjamin Netanyahu, who is not a person of God at all. That guy is definitely belongs to the synagogue of Satan. But anyway, you got Israel launches ground invasion. This is the newest news here. While the mainstream media busily speculates on just which Russians, because they are not sure who shot the jet down, Israel ground invasions of Gaza has started. Al Jazeera reported on this, and the Israeli army declines to comment on the report of ground invasion. So, and on the other side of the token, there was people from Palestine, Gaza, coming up through tunnels in Israel, shooting innocent civilians. And on the other side of that token, you got Israel shelling the Gaza Strip, hitting innocent people. So both sides equally at fault. I mean, really. And heavy artillery fire explosions heard throughout Gaza. That was a report on here. But anyway, the article's info was about the ground invasion of Gaza from Israel. So again, you're seeing World War III about to pop off, folks. I mean, we are that close, folks, from World War III. And it just gets worse. I mean, while this is going on, you got the border crisis. Then yesterday, you had a passenger airliner shot down near Russia border in the Ukraine. A Malaysian passenger, report by InfoWars, a Malaysian passenger airliner with 295 people on board was shot down over the Ukraine on Thursday. And the aircraft was flying from Amsterdam to Kuala Lumpur and came down near a city of Donetsk, excuse the pronunciation of these cities, and where the separatist rebels are battling Ukrainian troops. A civilian airliner traveling from Amsterdam to Kuala Lumpur has just been shot down by a Buk anti-aircraft system, on the Ukrainian Interior Ministry told Reuters, and it was Anton Gorisko, I can't pronounce his name right, but they told Reuters this information here. And the Associated Press reported seeing similar launcher near the eastern Ukrainian town of Shizn, and the Buk missile system can reportedly fire missiles up to an altitude of 72,000 feet. That's basically the edge of space, so needless to say, it can hit anything in the air. And there's a lot of speculation who shot it down. And right off the bat, you have Strobe Talbot blames Russia for shooting down commercial airliner. Reported by Paul Joseph Watson, Brookings Institute President Strobe Talbot has sensationally blamed Russia for shooting down a Malaysia airliner plane which was hit by a missile over Ukraine, killing 295 people on board. And he's blaming Russia. Then Hillary Clinton, of all people, you know, the queen of Benghazi, who should be in jail for the murder, anyway, in staging Benghazi, she comments yesterday, Hillary Clinton blames Russia for a downed plane in Ukraine. Presidential candidate Hillary Clinton has placed blame for the downing of the Malaysian plane earlier today on Russia. She told Charlie Rose there appears to be something growing awareness that Russia insurgents were behind the downing. And she comments that this is a great deal of concern. Not only was a civilian plane shot down, but was this means about the continuing conflict of eastern Ukraine and the role that Russia is playing, Clinton says. And she's a former Secretary of State. She said if Russia's held to blame for the incident, sanctions against Russia should be tightened, and Europe should stop importing Russian energy. And that's when Obama put the executive order about the ammunition and guns and all that. And right off the bat, they're blaming Putin. You know, it's Russia's fault. And the thing is, again, with Israel and Gaza, same thing. It's none of our damn business, okay? If Ukraine and Russia want to blow each other up, it's none of our business, and we shouldn't be imposing no sanctions. It's none of our business. Stay the hell out of it. And the thing is, they don't want to deal with Russia because Russia is an equalizer. I mean, Russia's not a country that, all through its history, it's a country that you don't want to mess with. You know what I mean? They are equalizer. I'm not saying they're the world's superpower, but you know what? They can match ship for ship, troop for troop, just with about anybody on the planet. So Russia is definitely an equalizer. And, it's crazy. And, of course, they got to put the blame on Putin because Putin calls Obama out all the time. And right away, it's Putin's fault. But a lot of speculation, too, is saying that on the other side of the coin here again, that it was an attempt to shoot down President Putin's plane. And this is reported by Russia Today. Yesterday, they reported that President Putin's plane might have been a target for a missile in Ukraine. And the report shows a Russian presidential plane and the Malaysian airline plane. They both look a little bit similar, but a lot of different characteristics. I mean, you'd have to be in aviation to actually realize the differences, but to the general public, they do look alike. And it says Malaysian Airlines MH17 plane was traveling almost the same route as Russia's President Vladimir Putin's jet shortly before the crash that killed 295, well, the shot down, I should say. Interfax news agency cited sources. And it was quoted, I can say that Putin's plane and Malaysia's Boeing intersected at the same point and the same echelon echelon. I mean, that was close to Warsaw on 330 m echelon at the height of 10,100 meters. The presidential jet was there at 16:21 Moscow time, in the Malaysian aircraft 15:44 Moscow time. A source told the news agency on condition of anonymity. And the contours of the aircraft, it says, similar linear dimensions, and also very similar as for coloring and all sorts. But anyway, folks, this probably, which I kind of have to go on this side of here of the coin, because I think it was a target for Vladimir Putin's jet. It really was. And the thing is, like Ukraine, you know what I mean? Like, they're blaming the Russians, Russia's blaming them, and of course the United States has to jump in. Oh, it's Vladimir, automatically, without investigating it, they're blaming the Russians. Now, regardless who it is, it was aimed at Vladimir Putin's jet. We're about coming up to the end of time here, so folks, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on. World War III is about to pop off. I mean, you got the whole Gaza and Israel thing, the border crisis. You got these globalists constantly hell-bent on taking our civil liberties, attacking our Second Amendment. Russia and China and Japan, just all over the world, folks. And then, folks, if you don't, I mean, look at the Bible. The Bible told us it was going to happen a long time ago. We are now experiencing more conflict. Right now, more tensions, wars, rumors of war than all of time. Than ever before. So, I mean, like, whatever, you know what I mean, people don't believe in God, I suggest you do get right with God, because, folks, we are heading toward a biblical disaster proportions, folks. And you got the mark of the beast in Obamacare. I mean, the United Nations heading up the one world government, the one world religion by the Pope and the United Nations. I mean, all this is coming together. The world economy to one economy, the collapsing economies by design. I mean, I can't say enough. I mean, the writings were on the wall thousands of years ago, folks, and people still refuse to listen to them. But still, you know, the government's God, the government knows best. You know, we got to listen to them. We got to worship our almighty Savior, President Obama. You know, he knows best what's for us. But you know what, folks? You need to wake the hell up. You really do. And I'm not here trying to preach to you out there. I'm just here, hey, this is what's going on in the world. This is what the Bible says. Okay? You cross-reference the two, identical, 110% dead-on accurate. No fault. I mean, you can't get much, you know, better than that. And we could argue all day long how the world was created, you know, with evolution, creation, whatever. But the thing is, we're witnessing prophecy happen right now. And if you can't see that, folks, you know, you got to pull your head out of the sand or out of your asses completely, because we are in that moment, folks, of, you know, the setting is here. The stages of the New World Order are here. Okay, it's built, the framework's up, everything's ready to go. They get the martial law ready to be implemented. The internment camps are ready here to go. The mark of the beast is ready to be initiated. I mean, it's all set up and planned and ready to go, folks. So you need to wake up. And we're about out of time. And again, we're going to keep everybody up to date on Blog Talk Radio, the freedomizerradio.com. On us going, but for now we're going to broadcast off our YouTube channel and truthradioshow.com. And again, anybody wants to donate equipment or even money and all that, if you can afford it, we could definitely use it to run the operation, because we want to go full time. We want to launch to the, you know, to the stars. The stars are the limit to us, okay? And we want to just get out there. You know what I mean? Like, just be a source of truth for the people. And again, tune in to Infowars.com and you know, Alex Jones Show, Infowars Nightly News, and to the Truth Radio Show here. And this is Dan Bidondi for Truth Radio Show. Have a good week and God bless.